Welcome everyone once again to the Dragoon's Lair podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening in. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and with me once again, the incomparable family man himself, coming out of the sphere, James Haines.
All right, just to let everybody know, please, if you got a little blurb that says now casting for We Are Family, it was an April Fool's joke, bitches. Okay, they are not filming that. All right, the sphere has been closed. Mama's at bingo. Anthony's doing his thing, and Joel will be on the 1% starting the 13th of April.
Okay.
All right, so you social media trolls better stop, and not for nothing. Speaking of April 1st, hold on. Now I told you I'm going to vent it. Hey, all you social media trolls, April 1st, Winnipeg. How about that, bitches? Oh, I'm sorry. Y2J? Oops. Listen, just keep on your stuff and start chanting who after Oba. And stop calling him Obama. Somebody called him Obama on YouTube. I could not stop laughing. I'm like, why are you calling him that? He is bigger and more powerful.
I don't know about that. Not
That's
more
true.
powerful.
I know. That's
Bigger, yes. More powerful, I don't know.
I know. But that's enough for the April Fool's shit.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Jimmy's little tirade there. But yeah, we had our April Fool's Day nonsense that went on. So trusting anything that happened on the internet on April 1st.
Before and even after.
Yeah. There were anime recommendations that were lies that I got really excited for like 2 seconds when someone made the joke stating that there would be, instead of High School DxD Season 5, there would be a movie instead. And when he said April Fool's at the end, I was like, you bastard. Yeah, read between the lines. Yeah. No, so we went and by the time this episode comes out, it is going to be Easter Sunday. So
and it's already Passover.
Happy Easter, Passover, whatever you celebrate. I'm waiting because I celebrate the beginning of spring. So
it's already spring.
Spring is sprung?
Yes.
No, so, I mean, we got a lot of stuff that's been going on, but for today's episode, I want to thank each and every one of you, and I want to remind you guys to like, share, subscribe, make sure you sign up, leave us reviews, send us emails at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw a nice little curveball in on that one. But no, today we're going to be discussing The Bluff. We're also going to be talking about a classic movie from the 90s. We're going to be talking Airborne. Yeah. Since we talked so much about Alana Eubank back on our previous episode talking about Ted 2, so we figured let's go back to one of her first movies. So we're doing that one, as well as we're going to be discussing Invincible Season 4, the first 5 episodes. We also have some discussions for some of the trailers that have come out. So we're going to start off with an anime recommendation because the new season started. I am 100% caught up on One Piece. Finally, the English dub dropped this past weekend. So now 1,155 episodes later, season 1 is finally done.
Season 1?
Yep, that's season 1 because it was a continual anime for one entire continuous
Why does
run.
it sound like a Food Network show?
Because
when you said that.
No, the one that I would actually recommend for you that you would actually really enjoy.
Oh yes, the cooking one again.
Food Wars.
Yes.
There's Food Wars, but there's also Delicious in the Dungeon, Restaurant in Another World. I think you'd enjoy both of those since you have a predilection for cooking.
Oh, yes. Besides me watching TOC on Sunday nights.
Yes. Now, though, there is one other one that just came out. The first 4 episodes subtitled are available on Crunchyroll. I recommend Classroom of the Elite, Season 4. Like, now they're on their 2nd year there.
The heck was that?
That was you. That was your water bottle popped.
Pop goes the weasel.
There you
go.
go.
Weasel goes pop.
Yeah. So No, so we've got Classroom of the Elite. There's going to be so many more anime that I'm going to be discussing throughout this season. So I'm going to just keep that one at Classroom of the Elite is the recommendation because One Piece will be returning this spring. So now we're going to start season 2 of One Piece. I know it's
oh God, sorry, the Kermit the Frog came out.
Yeah, this is actually going to be season 2 of the anime for One Piece, not season 2 live action, which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Because frankly, yeah, this was one that's been going on since like 99. So since like 1999, One Piece has been running pretty much continuously with small breaks here and there, but nothing has truly broken. So for the releases, they've listed them as different voyages as seasons, but as a continuing series, it has finally ended its first season and now is going into seasonals. So there's about to be starting the Elbath arc, which will be starting the wind up, which this is going to take years to finish anyway.
I just finally seen.
I don't think Oda's going to finish it anytime soon.
I just finally seen in Target they just had for the live series. They had the figures and they had the nice giant size Tony
Chopper?
Yep, and Tony Chopper look cool.
See, if anybody would like to get me a Tony Chopper...
Yeah, I agree. Same thing.
Please, let me know.
Let us know. You want one? I want one. Who cares if they are...
Tony Chopper, like, the way they did it in the live action, like, literally brought me to tears. Like I said it the last time, I'll say it again. Michaela Hoover did such a phenomenal job. But we do have to discuss, we had a few trailers that came out this past break between episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So
not one, not two, but three.
We're going to start off with the one that's going to be the furthest away, because that one would be the Harry Potter series trailer.
Coming in Christmas 2026.
Yeah. So
cool.
Later on this year, we will have a new Harry Potter series. Mm-hmm. The trailer actually looked pretty good.
Yes.
I have to say, I did like the fact that they brought the whole thing with Dudley and the bullies and everything. I will say the casting's a little weird for me seeing other people in these roles, but it's going to be an interesting thing to just get used to new actors in the roles. Now, Jimmy, what was some of your standout moments from the trailer?
Nick Frost as Hagrid himself.
Hagrid?
He looks so...
Hagrid, not Hagrid. Because, we're going to get our pronunciation snobs will come out. Hagrid.
Bitches.
Oh,
yes,
Hagrid.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yep.
Let me tell you, seeing Lithgow as Dumbledore looked amazing.
Yep.
And keeping up with the Weasleys in their red-haired features, excellent.
Yep.
Seeing the new Harry Potter, looking forward to seeing more and everything. And I will say this, it's Warner Brothers 1, 2, whatever they want to count now. I am, thank God, glad still. Marvel, you're not out yet, are you? Thank you, but let's wait till Spider-Man. That's what I've been waiting to say.
Okay.
Because I was like, this came out before Doomsday, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Listen,
I gotta get vent on that.
I'm okay with the Doomsday trailer not coming out because, frankly, it's going to get overblown real quick. The series for Harry Potter is going to be a little more different. It's going to stay further back. And because it's going to be a series, they're going to be dropping these week to week. It's coming out for the Christmas season.
Yeah.
So,
because that's basically when part of the book takes place.
Yeah. Now, my only concern with seeing the trailer is the fact...
Say it.
I don't care that for the casting of Snape, but I'm just concerned about the fact of the racial tones, because in the books, Harry is described as not liking Snape from the look of him. From when he first sees him, this is going to kind of start to seem a little racist by having Snape portrayed as a black actor. I'm willing to give the actor a shot because no matter what happens, it's not Rickman. It'll never going to be Rickman.
No.
However, the good thing is you still have the movies. And if you didn't like the movies and you felt the movies left stuff out, you got the books. So there's always an alternative of a way of watching this, so I'm okay with it. It's just a matter of I'm concerned about the implications of people going out and saying the racist stuff, which that's not our bag, that's not our thing. And I made plenty of jokes when Fan Four Stick came out. Nobody got to hear them really because we didn't have the show at the time. But you know what? Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm, you're setting a black man on fire. I thought that was a bad idea. Now we're just going to see where things play out.
And not only that, but let us tell the audience again the name of it, Harry Potter and what?
The Philosopher's Stone, which is the original title of the British version of the book, and probably the rest of the world, because nobody thought they would know what the Philosopher's Stone is, so they would know what a sorcerer is, so the Americans had to change it to that. Okay. Well,
now it changed back, and guess what? Okay.
Well, guess what? That is a nice little distinguishing characteristic between the movie and the show. So it's telling you we're getting a different version all around. So, I mean, the casting so far looks great. I am interested to see like how much of this they're actually going to get done. I'm interested to see if Peeves actually gets to make an appearance, because we didn't have Peeves the poltergeist in the movies, and the ghosts really took like a back seat after by the second movie. It was like the ghosts pretty much disappeared.
I'd like to see who they cast as the ghost this time, not
for Sir Nicholas.
Yes, like that was John Cleese. Let's see who they get this time and everything.
Yeah, so there's plenty of options there. Now, there was the new Masters of the Universe trailer.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love this. I want this. I need this more than I've expected to need this movie, because just from the trailers alone, you have me sold. Trapjaw looks absolutely amazing. We got to see his arm changing from the hook into the other tools of his trade.
Yes.
Trapjaw looks amazing. The voice doesn't sound too bad from Jared Leto as Skeletor. Now seeing that the plot points of it are, we're seeing that Adam was sent away but never forgot who he really was. And now Eternia is basically completely turned on its head because Skeletor's pretty much taken over. There's small hints of the original series and hints from the original movie, but this looks like it's going to be good.
Yes, I agree.
And the casting so far, everyone looks amazing in the roles. The sword actually looks like the sword from the cartoon show, so I'm sold.
And he said, they let him say the words in the trailer.
Yeah.
I have the power.
Yep. And this is going to be one of those things where seeing the sword of power, this is going to be that thing where you saw Snake Mountain and it looks amazing. Even having like Cringer coming out looked great.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see where this goes.
And even in the MGM UA introduction, you see Cringer there. Not the lion, Cringer.
Replacing the lion with Cringer was probably one of the coolest moments of the trailer, because you knew it was now something that they're putting real faith into. So I loved it, Jimmy.
Agreed. This is something I'm looking forward to.
This is something I say I will actually want to go to the theaters to see. And then we have the Supergirl trailer. And for all you Supergirl haters out there who've been moaning and groaning and complaining, it's not the thing, and yeah. Screw you. This trailer was completely badass. Supergirl, this is a story of a girl and her dog, even though she had a cat, but they gave her crypto. I'm fine with that. No problem. Having Clark talking to her, trying to get her to come home, that she's not going to find her place, and her being an outcast, that is her story.
Yes.
Anybody who misses this point and the plot for this, they're not getting it. Pick up some Supergirl comics.
Go to even the animated also.
Public Enemies? The one that came out after
I believe it
Public
was that,
Enemies?
or it was the one versus Apocalypse. Darkseid.
Yeah. There's quite a few of the animated movies that have the story done absolutely right. I mean, the Helen Slater movie was very different.
Yeah.
But this looks like it's going to be in the right universe, the right state of mind, and getting to see Lobo.
And the bike. Excuse me.
Yep.
Excuse me. Weren't you the ditzy one from the ball?
It's funny. That's what I was calling you.
I love that line.
Great line between the two of them. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to be that point where I think James Gunn has this in the right state. He made sure the casting's good. I am looking forward to this one. This is going to be that year of a bunch of movies that I'm really looking forward to because of the fact that there's casting decisions that were made right. There are story beats that are actually looking very interesting. And out of these 3 trailers that we've seen, Masters of the Universe has me completely hyped, and so does Supergirl. Jimmy?
The Gods and Monsters series he's trying to the format he's trying to do with the Creature Commandos, with Superman, tying semi in between Peacemaker, which was, I mean, people are like, wait a minute, why is he? You have to wait and find out. And now bringing in the 3rd installment with Supergirl.
3rd, 4th.
Basically, give or take. But he's on the right track. He's doing everything right. What's been missing? And we'll let him take his time and do piece right. I agree.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, that we have to say this because most people don't want to understand it, is the fact that James Gunn, what he's doing really is he's brought the DC universe into a larger universe as a whole, but at the same time, he's also kept it to the point where this is like the start of the MCU. Even though the characters are already there, he's giving us a universe of characters that are it feels lived in. And I think that's probably the best point, is having a universe that's going to be the distinguishing mark from the MCU versus the DCU under Gunn, is really going to be that we have a universe of characters that have already been there. It feels lived in, as opposed to the MCU when they first started, you had to introduce the characters. Yeah. They're not really introducing the characters. They're giving us characters as a whole, that they're there, and you'll get their story. It will unfold as long as you're watching it. And I think that was the best call, to be something to distinguish the difference.
I like that he went on YouTube and under the DC flag and said, okay, everybody, hi, this is what I'm doing. This is what it's going to be called. Any questions? Leave me a comment. And following him on Instagram, you've seen every step, and it's amazing. I mean, even like I said, my friend was in Cleveland when they filmed Superman. Need I say more? Yeah. How good he's got that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Right now, we're at a point where a lived-in universe is, I think, really needed. If people aren't understanding that if we have to go into an origin story for every single character, they're going to just completely compare it to the MCU. We don't need everyone knows who Superman is at this point. Yeah. If you don't know who Superman is and you don't know who Batman is, then
you need to go to the comic book store.
No, you've been living under a rock.
That too.
Because frankly, you can pick up any of the older movies. You can pick up any of the series, the animated stuff. There's so many different iterations already that we already know who the majority of these characters are. Now, granted, there was a trailer that came out for Lanterns.
Yes.
I'm still up in the air for Lanterns.
Because remember, they are going to feature him in the next Superman movie.
Yeah. And that's fine, but yes. We've already seen Guy Gardner there, but he doesn't look like he's playing a part in this Lantern series, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where we're seeing like an older Hal Jordan and a new Jon Stewart just taking over and coming into it. This is going to be an interesting take on how they do it. I'm just not going to sit there and judge it just yet, because the one trailer that we really got, it gave a little bit, it's a taste.
Yes.
But I need to see a little more, because this was more of a teaser than a full-blown trailer.
This is more, as we say in the chef in the dinner world, this was the amuse-bouche. Your little taste, your little serving, that spoon, that fork. Guess what? No problem. When's the appetizer coming to see the little more? But I'm waiting very patiently.
Yeah.
I will wait, because how he's pacing this, like I said, he's doing it nice and smoothly. He is not rushing everything out like everything was, and then how that train got semi-derailed.
Yeah, and you know what? If he keeps up this pace, he might be able to skip the problem that the MCU had in phase 1 of being Thor. Mm-hmm. Thor really was the hardest one to really take, and it was the Thor and Thor 2: A Dark World were not my favorites. They were literally considered, in my opinion, to be the worst, where, replacing
I like both of them.
Yeah, but replacing Ed Norton for the Hulk, the Hulk movie was good. They made some changes, but those were other issues that were on the technical side and stuff, that nothing that can be said. And Ruffalo has been such an amazing Hulk so far that I am absolutely fine with the changes that were made. I'm okay with the casting for Thor. It was the stories that were told.
Yeah.
They fell flat for me. Now, we're going to go and move on to our first movie from Amazon Prime. We're going to talk about The Bluff.
Yes.
So, Jimmy, how do you feel about pirates?
This is even better than Pirates of the Caribbean.
Listen, this
Very much better.
Now, I had a concern with The Bluff.
Darker.
I had a little concern when it came to talk about The Bluff and what we're going to discuss with it, but we're going to talk about it. And so you figured this was a movie that it was not heavy dialogue at all.
No.
But, I mean,
It was a lot of action.
Look at the casting.
Priyanka Chopra.
Jonas.
Who, by the way, was also the producer of the movie.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with that and very, very pleased.
Yeah. I mean, she did a great job in the role that she had in Heads of State. And now seeing her in this one, she looked like an action star in this one.
Action star? Let's put it this way. The beatings that happened.
Yeah. It was brutal.
It was a Ron Simmons. Damn!
Yeah. Now, you have Carl Urban as your big bad, the pirate,
Yep.
But you also had Tamara Morrison in this.
As his first mate.
This is the second movie this year I've seen with Tamara Morrison. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
Boba's getting around.
Django and Boba.
That too.
Listen, we're seeing some actors making some comebacks, getting a lot more roles and stuff. So this has actually been really interesting. And on Amazon, I was not expecting this one. It kind of snuck up on me, so I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've seen a good pirate movie that wasn't put out by Disney.
Or a musical.
Yeah, so...
The pirate movie, or the Pirates of Penzance. Or Muppets Treasure Island.
Cutthroat Island.
Yep.
Most people forget Cutthroat Island. I actually thought it was pretty good. But no, so, I mean, The Bluff... It made a lot of sense for what they were doing. Pirate going and stumbles across a ship that has gold with his mark on there. Now, that to me was I was not expecting that.
No.
And the brutality that they did with the ship. The ships look great in the opening, coming with a storm, and now going back to find where the rest of that gold is, and coming across an old comrade who betrayed them, known as Bloody Mary. That was pretty badass.
But it took them how long till they said her name?
Yeah. And that was the thing. It was pretty good for what they were doing. My only issue was a little bit of a pacing issue because there was a lack of dialogue. They were very innovative in the spaces that they used, and having certain little traps and booby traps and surprises. It was stuff you would think oh shoot, I haven't seen stuff like this in years. And it was it gave me a Goonies vibe with that. And then
it gave me even the Halloween vibe with Jamie Lee Curtis, how she had everything.
Yeah, booby trapped and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. But the problem ended up basically being that because there was a huge lack of dialogue, you're kind of sitting there and you're like, okay, what's going on? It got a little boring for me in certain moments.
It got too obvious when they started ready to load the cannon, and all you see is the little scope. Is like, all right, this guy's dead.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where certain things were just like, I think it was a good movie. I'm not going to say that it was a great movie. If we were giving this any kind of rating because of the slow pacing,
it's better than 33. Yeah, remember that.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of pacing issues with this one, but that was more dialogue issue of they didn't explain certain things. It was slow. There was a lack, I think, of the score not being there so much that it kind of started putting me to sleep at certain points where I kind of was like, I was easily distracted during this, so I had to stop it and restart, which it's not a bad thing for the movie itself, but it kind of lost my interest at points. So I'm like, this is a halfway point for me when I say, overall, my thought process on this is, I would say watch it, but you got to be in the mood for a pirate movie. You got to want to see this.
You got to want some action, which this had too.
Yeah, but it came at the cost of dialogue and some music and things that would ramp up the tension a little bit at certain points and moments that would have given you a little more clarity as to what was going on. So this is a middle down the road for me. If we were going to give this any kind of a rating at all, instead of stars, I say we give it dragon eggs. And frankly, I would say, or you know what? Because it's a pirate movie, let's go with treasure chests for this one. And out of 5 treasure chests, I give it a 3. What do you say, Jimmy? What's your thought process on this one?
I'll go 3.5. I got to go a little bit more because I like the action. I liked a little bit understood, even some of the plot and everything. I appreciate some of it. It did get slow and everything, but it kept a little good pacing and all with some of the action, and even almost basically showing you that he almost lost half his crew and he almost lost his life because his first mate said, we're gonna go vote on you. And then next thing you know, I voted already. You're dead.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I mean, it's not a terrible movie.
No,
it's a good movie. It's a decent watch. I think anybody who wants some action but isn't looking for anything too out there, they're going to enjoy this one. And like I said, Priyanka Chopra, Jonas, she came out looking like an actual action star in this one. She was a complete and total badass. Her acting was good. It just wasn't for me personally. I feel like it wasn't even I'm not looking for exposition. I just felt like there were certain moments where even it lacked, because not having the dialogue caused not having music. And I felt like the lack of a score, amping things up, making you feel some of the tension. There was music there, but it was so low, and you felt more of the ambient sounds and stuff. It had a gritty feel to it, but it just didn't have that overly cinematic feel, where I would have wanted just a little bit more of that oomph that a better score would have given it. And that's just my personal take.
All right. That's all.
So now we do have some other things to talk about, but I kind of want to take a little deviation. So Jimmy, I'm going to take the stage on this one because you
go right ahead. But just so everybody knows that me and Dan know each other from film, as with Russell. But I just want to remind everybody this. Contrary to everybody says, Dan has more hair than me and Russell combined. Let us know that. Out of the 3 out of 4, because the Queen is excluded in this one, she has immunity. You have more hair than the two of us. I just realized that.
Not by much. That's more the beard.
Listen, the beard, and at least up here, because half the time this goes on me. And Russell, I think the kids with the stress and aggravation, he's losing his. Hi, Russell.
No, we're not trying to make fun of Russell.
No, we're not trying to make fun of me either. But you got more of the hair out of all of us out of this.
Not by much, no. But no, I'm going to take the reins here because I am not going to go and try to make Jimmy have to do anything he doesn't feel morally that he should do. And if it's going to go against his morals, I'm not going to tell him to do that. So Jimmy has taken his moral stance and does not have Disney Plus and Hulu. I do.
It's the Kimmel vision.
And I respect it, but...
Go ahead.
Daredevil Born Again, folks. I have to talk about it because I need to discuss this.
It needs to be out in the open.
Yeah. Now, clearly, they did something a little unusual when it comes to Disney because instead of dropping 3 episodes at once or 2 episodes, they dropped 1 episode for the premiere night and then they dropped 2 the following week. So I was blown away by this because it didn't make any sense to me, but okay, sure, why
Didn't
not?
they do something crazy on that during Andor or something like that? They dropped 2, then 3 or what, something like that?
Andor, I think what happened with Andor was they were dropping like a few episodes at a time rather than just 1 or 2 episodes, which I'm fine with if you're going to drop. If you drop a couple of them, like, especially because sometimes getting into a show usually takes like about 3 episodes for you to like know if you want to keep going. That's the 3 episode rule. You know, most people have it where they'll give a show like 3 episodes, and if they're not feeling it by the 3rd episode, they're out.
If you're not completely satisfied, we'll give you your money back. Not us, but the networks will.
No, but that's the thing, you know, I just want to make sure that people understand, like, for moral's sake, I'm not going to question Jimmy for getting rid of them.
I appreciate that.
I respect it, but I need to discuss this because we had talked Daredevil Season 1 for Born Again, and Daredevil Born Again Season 2 absolutely is killing it so far. They have upped the stakes. They're coming into this, and one thing that anybody needs to know is that it looks like from the Spider-Man trailer that this is going to take place after Daredevil Born Again Season 2, as well as the Punisher one shot. So right now, we haven't seen Frank Castle in the first 3 episodes, but they do make mention to him. But we are seeing the effects of Wilson Fisk as the mayor. Matt Murdock is missing, and it is so interesting to see Murdock and Page going off doing their underground stuff, going after this, like, Fisk's task force. And they are doing some amazing stuff. It's really at that point where it's feeling gritty. You feel the tension building up in each episode. I really, like, I don't want to give anything away for people, and if Jimmy decides he does want to get this or he wants to see it later on down the line, because who knows, maybe Disney might be smart and issue DVDs for these, you know, put out some Blu-rays, so some physical media, so they can get some more money in because it's a lost art and people actually want to buy stuff rather than just renting it for a limited amount of time.
I do know the website where they can get this.
Of course.
So you're going to have to work with me on that one.
Well, if you want to do that, you can message me and I'll pass the messages along to Jimmy by emailing us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com.
Or even leave us an official message on our official Dragoon's Lair podcast page on Instagram.
That would be Dragoon's Lair Official on Instagram.
That's
or
it.
You can shoot us a message on our Facebook group, which is Dragoon's Lair Podcast on Facebook. Now, back from the shameless plug. No, you know, we're seeing things for the street level. We know certain elements are coming that have been teased that we're not seeing, but we do get a trial of a vigilante within the first 3 episodes for Swordsmith Master, I believe is the character's name. And it is absolutely interesting the way they do this, the psychology that's going behind this, the characters, everything that they're doing. And I'm not going to spoil who the character is, but I will say This is now the second movie I've seen this year. Well, a series versus the movie. I've now seen Matthew Lillard in two things this year because I saw Scream 7, and now I'm seeing Matthew Lillard popping up in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So we've got interesting things happening there. We've seen Bullseye coming out in Season 2, and Bullseye's they're looking for him. They're looking for every vigilante. You know, the reports, the mock videos that are being put out in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, criticizing Mayor Fisk, calling him Mayor Kingpin. It is absolutely amazing of what they're doing. A lot of this resonates really well with real world events and things that are going on in
Even
our world.
Gangland, basically.
Yep.
The comic book.
Yeah,
The trade paperback, I should say.
Yeah,
too.
they're doing an amazing job with this one. I am absolutely blown away with how Season 2 is going so far. And they are only 3 episodes deep. After watching episode 2, I did not want to stop and went through Season 3, like the 3rd episode, because it really was like I would have continued on no matter what. But having 2 episodes drop, not having to wait another week, I don't know if there's a pacing issue or if they're doing this because it was a holiday coming up in the following week again. So we'll see how this all plays out with their release schedule. But 3 episodes deep into Daredevil Born Again, there's one thing I am truly looking forward to, and I want to see any of the other Defenders coming in and seeing where this goes, because you're going street level. I need more of the street level heroes. I need those Netflix characters being brought back.
Well, she's coming.
And we know Jessica Jones is coming, but I'm looking for Luke Cage. I'm looking for a Danny Rand. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of the way Iron Fist was on Netflix, the second season cleaned up a lot of the problems there. But if we can get them all together, I want to see them back together. But one thing I do really want to see is I want to see Disney. I'm asking for it just because I want to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I need to see Heroes for Hire.
Yep.
Because they did kind of hint so far within this for a new White Tiger. So they're really bringing some of these other characters and like hidden behind the scenes. Like stuff is really coming together really well. So, I mean, I still have to really sit down and watch Wonder Man. But so far, Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, I cannot recommend this enough. If you have your moral objections, there are other ways of finding it.
There is ways to find it, my friend.
I don't know anything about that. You know,
There probably are.
I wouldn't know. But in the meantime, you know, we're going to go and make our suggestions of things to watch. And, you know, I like to make sure that I give you guys stuff that you're going to enjoy, things that we're going to enjoy watching to talk about, because frankly, you know, there's so many different options out there. You know, we are an entertainment podcast. We are basically a comic book podcast as well, but we're a movie, we're anime. These are all things we talk about because it's kind of a niche thing. And frankly, for a couple of cinephiles like Jimmy and myself, being able to talk about movies, TV shows, and being able to, especially to address things like the angles that they're using to maximize like the effect of stuff. And it's really important because these are things that I want to save you guys some money and not go to film school, because Jimmy and I did it. Our money was spent going to film school.
I recommend the book The Power of Film by Howard Schuber, a UCLA 40-year professor. And you want to hear something funny?
Go ahead.
He taught 65 classes. Do you know what class he did not teach?
Cinema?
No.
What?
Animation.
Yeah, that happens.
Out of all the cinema, yes, that was good. Out of all the cinema classes that he taught, that was the only one he didn't touch. Because I've been rereading his book, rewatching the documentary over, which is on HBO Max, and I'll tell you, the man he's a good mind.
Listen,
explain everything.
Animation's a very tough subject to talk about when it comes to filmmaking, because it does require animators. It requires a lot of artists. There's so much involved that goes into it that I really appreciate and respect everyone who puts their heart and soul into animation as it is. And the thing is, like, you recommended a book for film. I'm going to tell anybody who's an independent filmmaker or you want to be, I would suggest make your own damn movie. And everything I learned about filmmaking from The Toxic Avenger, Lloyd Kaufman's 2 books.
Yes.
You know, you'll learn a lot, and it's actually something that I highly recommend, because pick up books, go and watch stuff. You know, if you have questions about filmmaking, please email us at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. I would rather you go to college, learn something. If you want to go for filmmaking, it's more for access to the equipment and learning some editing techniques, but I'm pretty sure there are other places that you can learn that from. And frankly, save yourself the time and not have some professors who want to call some of your favorite movies that inspired you into becoming filmmakers, calling it schlock.
And read even Kevin Smith's work.
Yes.
A masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is right.
Now, other than that, you know, we're going to take
Speaking of animation, let's get...
I thought we have one more movie to talk about before.
All right, let's talk about...
We're going to go and we're going to take a time travel trip in the Wayback Machine, and we're going to the 1990s, folks, when everything was so much simpler and...
Younger.
Yeah. And I had so much more hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did I. I looked like Kramer.
No.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, but no. So we talked about Alana Eubank, and I said from our TED Talk for TED Season 2, and I said, you know what? What was the first movie that she was in? I looked it up on IMDb.
Airborne.
And Airborne is the first movie that she was in. It is not a starring role, but her small part in that does make an impact. So we're going to talk about the movie Airborne, an unsung classic.
Yeah.
That is not really spoken about. And it has star power in there.
Yes.
It has a young Seth Green.
A young Jack Black.
Yes. How can you go wrong with 2 supporting actors?
Chris Conrad.
Yeah. And Shane McDermott.
Yep.
And not only that, Brittany Powell.
And the ever popular uncle who everybody remembers from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
As the teacher.
And of course, remember Mrs. Poole.
Yes.
From the Hogan
Edie
family.
McClurg.
Yeah.
Or the ever popular Grace.
Yeah.
Or she's
Ferris Bueller.
sniffing the white out.
You had so many great actors in this one. Like, it really is something. And I want us to go and make sure, like, we hit some classics.
Yes.
The 80s, 90s. I want us to go back to, like, some vintage stuff. So we not only give you guys more of an education in film and television, but also...
We'll pull you into both of our vaults and enjoy what we're doing.
So Airborne was a rollerblade movie.
Yes.
Of course. And Jimmy, you want to give everybody a quick synopsis for this one?
I believe Shane McDermott's character, his parents go to Australia, and he's in California, a rollerblader and all, enjoying the California coast life, the surfs. And next thing you know, you see him on a snow-covered Cincinnati airfield.
Yeah.
And yeah, that surfboard is not going to be good there, man. How about that? But you get to meet him, his cousin, and who is Seth Green. As always, his quirkiness as ever. And basically you get to learn how he's rollerblading his way into the life of the school, the people there, the neighborhood, and just a romance himself. Just romance for himself,
Yeah.
I'd say.
This movie really is something. It's a staple of the times because, you know, rollerblade culture, this was like early days, like before like the X Games became like a huge thing. So you had the rollerbladers, you had like the extreme, the BMX bikers.
The preps.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Yeah, hockey is a major thing in this because that's the sport that going into Cincinnati, this is what they're interested in. They're not interested in surfing. Once the weather warms up, though, after showing up in a snowy tarmac,
Yes,
at the airport there, you have some like. He stands out because it's the California cool guy that, no one wants to believe that surfer image and everything.
the Zen master image.
Yeah. So, and of course, Chris Conrad's character, Jack, basically his girlfriend is really smitten with Mitchell.
No, his sister.
No, it started off with his girlfriend, if you remember.
Okay,
Coming
yes.
into the classroom, the sister, like the girlfriend's really like, she pushes her books down on the table, drops them on the floor, so this way he picks them up, and she's like, a gentleman. It's like just trying to get her boyfriend upset, I think everybody's had those moments back in high school, and if you haven't, you'll probably be experiencing it. If you're listening to this podcast and you're in high school, I am so sorry.
Yeah. You didn't live high school like we did.
No, you got a completely different experience.
You're living it worse.
But you also don't have to deal with the bullying that Mitchell takes on while playing the hockey game after his cousin gets taken out of the equation.
No. The first part, let's get back to it in a minute. The way they dressed his cousin, he had no jersey. He just had enough just padding on. He needed some more padding.
Yeah, Seth Green looked completely not comfortable on the ice at all.
He's like, yeah, I could do this. No, you can't.
But that's all because in the speech class, he's sitting there saying how he lives hockey. His dad drives a Zamboni. And then you find out it's a hockey Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the thing. It's like, this was the story of trying to fit in school with someone who knows who they are and someone who doesn't. So you have two cousins who are complete opposite ends of the spectrum. But once Mitchell goes and he gets on the ice, he scores a goal for the wrong team, costing the team he's supposed to be on.
Yep. And
he starts getting bullied repeatedly. And it goes on for a little while until he meets Brittany Powell's character. It's like they met at the game, and then they catch up and they meet each other out in a park while he's rollerblading around, finally starting to feel like himself again. Because
that big package really actually helped. Not that package, but the package that came in with a pair of rollerblades.
Yeah, he didn't have his rollerblades when he first got there.
No, he just had the board.
Yeah, the package was sent later on. He gets his rollerblades. I have to say, one of my favorite sequences in the movie really is at like the botanical gardens, where they're talking about the plants and the fact that his parents are walking encyclopedias. So he's got this great knowledge. He's got the knowledge
of botany.
Yeah, but he's not a dumb kid.
No.
And he's like walking around, he sees like, this might be fun, and starts rollerblading throughout the whole thing. She's chasing after him and stuff.
And then they go, hey, you, get out of here.
Listen, I still have the song that was playing in that sequence, Good Enough by Jeremy Jordan. I have that playing. That is in my music library. It is such a fun song and everything. And I love that sequence so much because it really was like that innocent, like high school romance that's just blossoming.
Oh yes, romance song where you have to dress Seth Green, and what do you hear? I'm too sexy.
Yeah, they go. Yeah,
love.
When they set up a date and it's like he's supposed to hang out with his cousin, and it's like she can bring a friend. It's like okay, it's like. He doesn't know how to dress. He's never been on a date. You can tell. And it really is hilarious for him coming in and out doing what would typically be considered a montage in a girl movie, if you want to call them girl movies. But it would have been something more of...
Or even what Sheldon did on Big Bang Theory with all those suits were like... Oh hell no! Not in that white tux.
Yeah, trying on a bunch of different outfits and stuff. Something that would be seen more playing for the girls in the audience. Now it's two guys and one is rating his cousin's different outfit choices, from extreme biker to a weird Pauly Shore kind of knockoff.
Yes.
Although I will say one of the true funniest aspects of this is seeing him dressing up as kind of the white hip hop like kids, and then going and seeing later on he went in Seth Green does Can't Hardly Wait, where that was pretty much his character in there.
Now Popeye.
Yeah, there's some good one-liners and some good lines in this about like getting to know who you are as a person and accepting yourself, and other people will accept you if you just are who you are.
Exactly.
And Mitchell, they have their date, and while Mitchell things are going good, you know, Brittany Powell's character, the ex-boyfriend, shows up, and he's one of the preppy guys. And him and his buddy, they basically kind of ruin the date, cause a little problem. When her brother shows up, it causes another problem.
That's your brother?
Yeah, with a misunderstanding that takes place. But because now he has his rollerblades, he shows up to try to fix things after having a dream sequence of him surfing. I get it. It's the Zen thing. It was the times. But he goes off and actually takes part in another hockey game. He gets beat up a little bit by the preppy ex-boyfriend. And instead of getting into the fight, he takes his revenge by pantsing him.
And having Jack Black on the floor laughing his ass off.
Jack Black, in an early role for Jack Black, seeing him on his hands and knees, like laughing hysterically. It is absolutely great to see like early young Jack Black and like a young Seth Green. Mm-hmm. So seeing them doing this stuff was hilarious. And Mitchell's now being invited to kind of be part of the group, even though Jack's still not interested in him at all, doesn't want anything to do with him, still thinks he's kind of a jerk. They go and they're going to do a race on rollerblades down
Devil's Canyon.
Devil's Backbone.
Devil's Backbone, that's right.
Which is a series of hills that they're going to go through, which is their big real action sequence after, you know, we've had like the half pipe and everything, so we know he knows how to skate. So it really is like, it's not high paced. It's kind of like a slower action sequence. It's not Fast and the Furious, but it's rollerblades. So
yeah,
I mean, it was a good sequence of like everybody trying to get one up on each other, trying to get down the hills faster. Who's gonna make it? Because the rule is 3 people from one team cross the line. That's the winners. Mm-hmm. But there are no other rules.
No.
So them pushing each other, kind of like throwing each other, seeing guys falling into like trees and shit. I think Jack Black hitting the tree was absolutely one of the funniest moments with the faces he makes. And then, of course, you know, it's the stereotypical, they win the day, they save the day and everything. It is just a fun movie. This is one that it's an hour and a half.
Yes, an hour and a half. Could you repeat that again? How long was it?
1 hour and 30 minutes.
Wow, I haven't seen something like that, well, since yesterday, but for a while.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a fun movie to watch, nice little throwback, good 90s music mixed in there with young Jack Black, young Seth Green.
Chris Conrad.
Yeah. You know, young Alana Eubank.
Mm-hmm.
You can see exactly how gorgeous this girl was as a younger girl and has not gotten anywhere. She is aging so well and with an amazing singing voice that you can find. And if you really want to see that, that would be her second movie, Sister Act 2.
Yes.
Where she went and you got to see her
Lauryn
singing
Hill.
chops. But this was absolutely a fun movie. And for a nice hour and a half, I highly recommend.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Because it was, like we said, an hour and a half.
Yep.
Not 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 59 minutes.
Nope. This is a nice little throwback, something you can watch. You know, you want to go, cute little date movie for anybody if they want to watch it for a nice little throwback. If you're looking for a fun little movie, if you're even interested in seeing of just a little history of how the stereotypes and like rollerblading culture was considered back in the 90s, highly recommend.
Yes.
If we were going to give it a rating, I would say I give it 4 surfboards out of 5.
It's funny you said surfboards. I was ready to say, I'm going to go at least 5 rollerblades out of 5.
Well, they're pairs, so I figured to go
why
with the
not?
one thing that's a singular. So now we have our animated major feature.
Your main event of the podcast.
That's right. We're going to be talking about Invincible Season 4. We have 5 episodes that we have watched. And, oh my God.
Holy crap.
The first few episodes, and I say this once again, this is not animated for children. This is rated mature.
This is not your mama's cartoons, kids.
Yep. Invincible is not for children.
Nope.
Seeing the heroes in the aftermath of the Invincible War within the first episode, people not really trusting Invincible after all of his alternate reality, like the different parallel universes versions of him, causing so much chaos and damage, trying to fix things. He is at a loss, trying to figure out what to do. He's not looking to destroy his enemies and doesn't have much of a choice in some effect.
Mm-hmm.
You have the alien invasion, which was basically kind of like an invasion of Starros, pretty much, where it's like he was left no choice with the time frame to stop the invasion because the shield was coming down. And man, he pops that guy's head with one punch.
Just one.
I haven't seen one punch do that much damage since One Punch Man. But other than that, I mean, it's like you're seeing all the characters, the side characters coming into their own. Now, Robot has now, because Rex was killed off, he has now decided that he is going to take Rex's name, since he already used his DNA to create the clone younger body for himself. So Robot and Monster Girl, they're dealing with coming back into the Guardians. There is the space drama that's going on, trying to find the weapons that they need and any allies from Nolan's books to be able to stop the invasion that's coming from the Viltrumite Empire. Which it's not really an empire when you find out there's only about 50 of them left.
Yeah. And not only that, they take over a ship that reminds me of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Kind of. I mean, some of the stuff that went on there was like...
Can I have my ship back? No.
Listen, that ship was falling apart. It was like the worst cruise liner ever. That was like budget cruises. But, I mean, the voice acting that they've gotten, the people that they have for this season so far. I mean, having Bruce Campbell as Satan.
Yes.
Clancy Brown. Kate Mulgrew. Like, they have some amazing actors in there. And if you didn't notice by the 5th episode, sorry, I keep saying seasons. By the 5th episode, you hear LeVar Burton's voice. So I'm like, you've got LeVar Burton, Phil Lamar, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. There are so many great...
I know, I didn't even realize that. I'm like, that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but it doesn't sound like him.
Oh, yeah. But for
then
Conquest, yes.
Yes.
But that's the thing. It's like, seeing when you find out about Thrag, you're like, oh, geez. There's so much going on. And, of course, you got Peter Optimus Prime Cullen as another one in there.
And what was he? He was some kind of...
He's another Viltrumite who betrayed the Viltrum Empire.
And they call him something else. They have a statue of him.
Yeah, he's like their betrayer or something. Yeah. I forget what the exact...
I think that's what they call him. I am the betrayer.
Yeah, but considering the fact that
Viltrumites transform.
Yeah, they did one entire episode where it's Mark in Hell. Taking on like a fire demon, pretty much.
Not only that, you have Clancy Brown's character who's like
a
demon, and it's
detective.
like they mix him and
Bruce Campbell.
No, it's not that. But I'm like Invincibles. I forgot which comic company they're using. I think it might be an independent. It's not DC and it's not Marvel.
When it was running as a comic book, it was who had Savage Dragon?
Image. So it's Image.
Yeah.
So it's a McFarlane. Nice.
It's not a McFarlane because this is, remember, Image Comics, each creator owns their own creations.
That's true, but he's still
he's like the main
big
guy
kahuna
there pretty much because he's the only one I think really left.
He's the only one that never left.
Yeah, but there were certain things that were cut out from season 3 because Invincible going to the different dimensions and everything, he didn't get to meet Spider-Man. They gave him like a knockoff version.
Yeah.
So there were certain things that were changed there. But having Bruce Campbell as Satan.
But it's not only that. I mean, like I said, the Clancy Brown character reminded me of between the Demon and the Question. And it's like they merged them both because he was this detective and everything. Not like Detective Chimp. But yes, I know, exactly. Thank you. And then you got everybody in hell is trying to beat this woman, beat the shit out of this queen. And they're like 0 for 60 or whatever it was. Mark comes down, boom! Beats the shit.
He just kept popping her head like a zit with those punches. Yes. It was hilarious because it's like when she finally does come back, if you need me, just give me a call.
I know.
I have to say I love every season whenever they go and they say the name of Mark as Invincible, you see the title screen and it keeps breaking apart. Or it gets splattered with blood like
he's invincible.
And it's cracking now and everything. Like,
oh my God, yeah, cracking. Yeah, we know why now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You know, you have Mark dealing with his father coming back, his brother coming into his own kind of as like a hero with Oliver, but Oliver's got that teenage angsty thing. Even though
I want to come.
Yeah,
not that way, but I want to go.
Well, clearly this is not a safe for work podcast, so I'm going to have to list this one now as not safe for work. Like, not made for children. We already say it's not made for kids, but,
yes. No. This is made for the car ride during your work, going to work.
Going to work, please do not carpool and listen to this.
Do not listen to this during spring break with the kids.
If you are listening to this, I suggest headphones. Oh my God, I thought I had a dirty mind and you just, oh my God.
I don't know. I'm in a good mood. It's a good mood
Jimmy,
today.
We've known each other for I think as long as I've watched One Piece.
Yes.
Oh my God! Actually, I think I know you longer than I've been watching One Piece. Only because started in we started in a film class in like the summertime.
Yes.
So, no, it's probably the same as
One
Piece. Oh God. Yeah.
And yes, so everybody knows, we did have a girl in the class, like from Beverly Hills Cop, and what was her name? Jenny Summers. So anyway, getting back to Mark.
Oh, God.
And Oliver, and when Omni-Man finally comes down, Nolan decides to visit the wife, and the wife tells him, go fuck yourself.
Oh, she hits him, hurts her own hand.
Oh, God. She needed to get the stress out, but... Damn.
Yeah, listen, she went and I love the fact that it's like there's so much going
Sandra
on.
Oh was she just let it go.
And that's the thing, like the performances that the animation has been using and putting on is absolutely amazing. I mean, seeing Gillian Jacobs as Adam Eve, like what she's going through.
What she's about to go through.
Yeah, well, she's already going through part of it because her powers aren't working, finds out she's pregnant, hasn't told Mark. I know what's going to happen because of the comics, but oh my God. It's like the emotional drama that's going on there while Mark is now off in outer space. It's like to go and fight the Viltrum Empire to prevent them from coming back to Earth. There is so much going on. By episode 5, though,
it ends on holy crap. Let's put it this way. You thought the Red Wedding was bad on Game of Thrones? Happy 15th anniversary, by the way.
Yeah.
But This is even worse. You thought Superman Doomsday was bad.
Yeah.
You thought when...
Listen, Conquest and Invincible going toe-to-toe the first time was brutal. This went and upped the ante so much more.
This was worse than a death match. This was worse than any Japanese death match, anything.
It was worse than this was so much more intense than the actual death match that MTV used to show in Claymation. So this is absolutely brutal. I am loving everything that they're doing so far, and but I have to say though, the one thing I kept thinking is, Jesus, Glenn and Negan just can't keep fighting each other over and over again. This is like, well, we let Negan do what he needed to do to Glenn, so now we're going to let Mark do what he needs to do to Conquest.
Yes. And what he called is like, I wish I could help them.
There's nothing that can be done at this point.
I mean, what he calls sitting there and in the office there, and he's like, they've just went to light speed, basically. And he's sitting there.
Yeah.
Good job, Walton Goggins.
Oh yeah. Listen, Walton Goggins really his portrayal so far has been absolutely amazing. They've kept Cecil to a minimum. They've really kept him to a minimum this season for the most part, but it's understandable considering the fact that now they're going into space, so they're not on Earth.
I do like he goes to see the tailor and he's like, for old times, it's like, listen, when I come back, do you think you think you can give me a new suit? No, you haven't heard my new policy yet.
No, it wasn't it wasn't that. That was your account's been closed. And he's like, Did I forget to pay the bill? It's like, I dress heroes.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's like Omni-Man is not a hero. You know, after finding out everything about him at this point, it's like not a hero anymore.
Yep, you're closed.
So your account's closed, so it's not going under Mark's account.
Not even Oliver's.
No, but that's the thing. It's like Mark gets it. He switches suits because the black and blue just really wasn't cutting it.
No.
And now he's back to the black and yellow.
And now but it's now even on one other color, so it's all the primary colors on his suit. Oh, God. And black.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, there is so much going on with Invincible Season 4. 5 episodes. I like the fact that it's like they dumped a couple episodes out at once, and now it's been like one.
Yep.
You know, they're keeping it at a steady pace.
Yes.
So, and I appreciate when give us a couple episodes to get into it again.
Give us the feel.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't like skipping the recap, and sometimes I need to not skip the recap because there's been so much going on trying to figure this all out. And I think they've done a phenomenal job. The animation, I feel like they stepped it up when they kind of made a joke in the previous season about the fact, like, you know, they take shortcuts with the animation where, you know, they use they show just the eyes so they don't have to animate the mouth moving, or they keep them in a distance so they don't have to do a lot. Even though the sequence with Omni-Man and his wife, like he's standing in the distance, you don't see her face, you don't see the emotion, but I think that worked better by not showing her face, not seeing if she was angry, if she was accepting the apology, anything, not knowing until that blow up of her turning around and actually seeing how she really felt.
I also like that just before they leave, she's like, wait a minute, we're doing one more thing. And you see little by little them starting to set that table, and it's the 4 of them and everything. The 5 of them, and it was really, really, that was really touching.
Mom's new boyfriend.
Yes, Peter.
Peter along, and Adam Eve. So it's like, it was really cool to see that because it was like one family dinner. You know, it's the overprotective mom, even like with Oliver. He's like the kid that's disgusted, like doesn't want to show affection to the mom, and she's like, I got to get all this in. You guys are going to be gone for who knows how long.
I know.
It's like a 2-week trip, and then you're going to be fighting in a war.
You better come back alive.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well,
We'll see next episode.
Yeah, so, with now we're going into our Thanksgiving. I keep calling this Thanksgiving. I've been doing
Going
this
into
repeatedly.
the Easter season.
Yeah, you can tell,
break.
It's another holiday I don't really celebrate. So, I don't celebrate Easter. I don't really care. I don't care.
Danny puts out rotten eggs for the kids to find, so you know.
I don't do that. I don't put out anything. The only thing I have to look forward to when it comes to Easter is
M&M's.
the day after Easter when the Reese's eggs are on sale.
Yes, to end the season.
Peanut butter cup eggs.
Yes.
I love the peanut butter cup eggs.
And good news, they're going to start making it where it's going to be the old formula again.
Oh, thank God. The taste hasn't been the same.
No.
But that's the thing,
Thank you, Hershey's.
Yeah, the holidays all keep blending
Send us
together.
some.
Just email us and we'll give you an address to send it to. I mean, let us know. If we need to get a P.O. box, let us know. If you guys want to send us stuff.
If you need us to go up to Hershey to get them from you, we'll do it. Road trip.
And the best way to get in touch with us is simply by emailing us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, no, I want to let everyone know I appreciate each and every one of you who's tuning in, listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just make sure, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the
Tell
things.
your friends.
That's why. Leave us reviews and recommendations. Leave us comments on the stuff. There's always. I try to make sure that we always have a poll on the Spotify page, so that this way, if you're on Spotify, you can vote and give us an opinion. Leave us what you want to say. Leave us comments on the episodes. If we're doing well, let us know. We have so many ways. We love talking to you guys and hearing from what you guys have to say.
If you want us to watch anything, let us know.
I kind of got into it on TikTok a little bit on one of the videos because somebody thought misunderstanding of us for not liking a certain thing, and it's more a matter of I'm allowed to have a criticism on certain things. And somebody went and tried to say Cowboy Bebop was the one that broke the live animation adaptation curse for an anime, and they're wrong. I respect your opinion. You can like that. However, it doesn't need to be a one-for-one adaptation, but when there is a story that progresses in a certain way, they were never going to get a season 2 for Cowboy Bebop because of the fact that they literally went and told the story out of sequence, changed certain things. We didn't get the appearance of Radical Edward until literally the last scene of the show. And it's we kind of saw, but not really introduced to the rest of the crew. They did the entire Ballad of Fallen Angels episode, which was the final episode, way too early. So there were really good elements to Cowboy Bebop's live action, but it's not what you can compare to One Piece. One Piece really has done this.
Go right ahead a minute, speak a little more.
Yeah, so Jimmy's disappearing on me here. But yeah, no. So the thing is, when you really look at the adaptations and everything, we're kind of sitting there at this point where the live action adaptations, certain things do need to follow the story structure because there's a reason why the story structure worked so well in the first place. And that really does tend to be where we have something that works, which really did fall into the realm of One Piece. They've made changes to the story, which I'm perfectly fine with, to speed things up, take the pacing and fix certain issues and kind of get the story as a cohesive thing, because certain things just aren't going to translate well anyway. And the entire cast of the live action One Piece has been doing phenomenal. I will give credit where credit's due to the Cowboy Bebop cast because they've done a phenomenal job with what they did, but they were never going to get a season 2. The changes that were made rushed the story along and created a major gap, which you were going to have to tell a whole new story if they would have been even granted a season 2. It's worth a watch if you just want to check it out and see on Netflix, but it is definitely not something that I'm going to say that is going to hold a candle to the live action One Piece, because season 1 and season 2 have done such a phenomenal job. And Well, it appears my co-host has returned.
I'm back. Sorry. Couldn't wait.
It happens.
Yes.
So other than that, I appreciate the comments and the discussion because nothing was said that was taken too far. It wasn't not an uncivilized conversation. It just happens to be that we are allowed to have differing opinions, but you do have to understand that a criticism comes from a place of you can enjoy something and also have issues with it. You can also hate something and know that there's another version of it that you can watch, and that's perfectly acceptable as well. Harry Potter is going to be that exception where we're going to see here's the book, here's a what could be considered a more faithful adaptation by doing it as a series, but the movies are still going to hold a special place in people's hearts. The books are going to hold a special place in people's hearts, and J.K. Rowling can go fuck herself. Sorry, I just needed to have that said. Because while I can respect and appreciate everything that Harry Potter and the books and everything is done, I do not feel that somebody like her should be profiting anymore. But it's her creation, so she's going to make money off of this no matter what. So if you're already paying for HBO Warner Brothers, okay. But I will say, once again, I do encourage everyone to go out there, talk to you, reach out, message, email, send letters, faxes, call. Let your state representatives, your congressmen, your senators know that you do not want Paramount, Skydance to buy HBO Warner Brothers, because that merger is going to end up costing us all in the long run, because the price of everything is going to skyrocket. They are going to cost us actors and salaries, things of different shows that we're going to be able to see and be able to create are all going to be caught under a creative bubble that they're not going to want to take risks anymore. Monopolies need to be broken up so we can have more risks. That's why phone companies we had more of them come out, and we were able to get better deals on cell phones and even just your regular phone line. We were able to get better deals when there are more companies and more competition. Competition is what drives things to get better.
Exactly.
So reach out to them. Let them know that this merger is not in anyone's best interest. If you have to, make sure you reach out to the FCC. Let them know to stop this merger from going through, because I don't want to pay more money for any one of these streaming platforms. It's bad enough we have to do so many different versions of the streaming platforms, which is basically cable with extra steps. And it can end up costing more than cable even in the long run. So, and there's always a tier that has commercials, and they're going to, even if they tell you that there's a commercial free tier. Netflix, you have a commercial free tier, and I still have to watch commercials during Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
So, yeah.
What's up with that?
I know what's up with that, but man.
Yeah.
But that's a complaint for another day, and I'm not going to whine about it or anything. It's just, It is what it is. It's just a matter of we all need to take control and let our representatives know that we do not want a merger to take place that's going to drive up prices and stifle the types of entertainment that we're going to get to see. Stop playing it safe. I want to be able to see some more experimental stuff. Let's see some new animation. There's all sorts of things that we can do. And we can see some new creators come up, new directors, new actors. We're not going to see that when monopolies take control and they push out any kind of progress that's going to take place. With that being said, Jimmy, you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me on Blue Sky, James925. You can get in touch with me on Snapchat, lowercase, James, SI0925. On Instagram and Threads, lowercase again, James H_the4th. James Haines the 4th. On Facebook, TikTok, James0925. All right? And remember, a reminder that April Fool's jokes were sent out, and all you social media trolls, enough's enough. Take a break for a while. You've already been bitch slapped. Virtually, of course. Yes. I mean, literally, You guys remind me of one guy, 6 guys trying to take care of one guy. Yeah, did that work? No.
Oof.
No, it didn't.
I don't know. Maybe that guy had some fun.
Oh, you kidding? He had fun throwing them all around. And then one guy thought, hey, I think I'll try the other guy. Yeah, no, that didn't work either.
Yeah, so now the easiest way that you guys can get in touch with me is very simple. The name, Blue Dragoon 13, which is on the screen right now. You can find me on Blue Sky, Instagram. You can find me on YouTube with the YouTube channel, so you can watch the episodes of the Dragoon's Lair podcast. You've got Twitch. You've got the link in all of my socials, so you can join the Discord group. So this way we can build the community and start doing some interesting things there. Not only that, but you can find me on Snapchat, Blue Dragoon 13. You can find me on all my socials, really, Blue Dragoon 13. You can also make sure you can find me, go on Threads, Blue Dragoon 13, but we also have the Threads page and Blue Dragoon Official on Instagram and Threads, so you can keep up with us there. You can also go and sign up on the Facebook group, so you can make sure you can do that. Dragoon's Lair Podcast on Facebook. So join us there. Make sure you like the reels, share them. Not only that, but leave us comments. We appreciate every time that we can interact with you guys. Not only that, but we can also do this wonderful little thing. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You want to make sure you like us on Facebook and YouTube and all these things, but follow us, subscribe on YouTube, so this way you never miss out on the latest episodes. Follow us on Spotify. Make sure you don't miss out. The same thing for Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe there. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please make sure it's a 5-star review. Even if you're going to curse us out, leave us a 5-star review. You know, and we're on iHeartRadio. We're also on, what was that again? Oh, that's right, Audible. So you can listen in between your podcast. You can listen to an audiobook. You can check us out there. And so we're everywhere where you're going to be able to find your podcasting needs. Just remember that on Spotify, you are there 1 week ahead, video version, or you can wait an extra week and you can watch it on YouTube on the Blue Dragoon 13 YouTube channel. So with that being said, you guys have all the access, you have the power, and don't forget, we love hearing from you guys. So when you leave us comments and reviews, it means so much to us. When you go and you add to our viewer numbers, it helps us out greatly. It also can help me out greatly in a financial crisis that we are in. I am currently in a dire straits, so I really do actually need all the help that we can get becoming monetized, so that maybe I can actually have food on the table, because frankly, the world is a horrific place. We're dealing with a lot of stuff, and you never know what anyone's going through. So an act of kindness really would be doing the simplest little thing of putting on the Dragoon's Lair podcast. Even if you don't listen to it, put us on in the background, turn the volume down. We're just here for your entertainment. We're here to give you as many recommendations and reviews as possible. And next time, we're going to be talking about the movie Mercy. We're going to look at a throwback TV show from the 90s, a Canadian drama, if you will. Higher Ground. So, with cast members that have gone on to do so many different things that we will be discussing as well. And we'll have some other surprises in store.
And the other numerous episodes of Invincible as they come out.
Of course. And I will also be talking about Daredevil Born Again Season 2 as well. And hopefully by then, we will have Jessica Jones and maybe some other Defenders showing up as well.
We never know.
So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. And remember, folks, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.
Bye, everybody.